Hello guys, good day. This is Anna of Reinforcement Club. Today we are going to talk about one of Solomon Asch conformity experiments. So Solomon Asch have done a series of psychological experiments last 1950s, and we are going to tackle just one of them, one of the famous one. So the aim of his social norm experiment was to investigate the extent to which an individual's would conform to a majority opinion, even though deep inside their heart it was incorrect. The experiment typically involved a group of participants, and there's only one real subject, and the rest are Confederates. So, in today's topic, you are going to learn that when everyone in the group agrees on something, unanimous decision, they have a big influence. But if one person in a group disagrees, that influence isn't strong anymore. And sometimes we do what the group does because we believe them, we trust them. And other times we do what the group does, even though, we know that it isn't right. That's not the right thing to do. It's just that we feel uncomfortable if we disagree to them. We feel that we don't fit in. We feel that they're going to hate us. They're not going to be liked. We're not going to be liked. So learning this, learning from this experiment will help us understand why people do what others do and what makes them change their minds at times. Here is the actual event of Solomon Asch social norm experiment. There you go.
But an experiment is not a public opinion poll. It examines behavior under the pressure of social forces, as the experiment of Solomon Asch reveals.
The experiment you'll be taking part in today involves the perception of lengths of lines. As you can see here, I have a number of cards, and on each card there are several lines. Your task is a very simple one. You're to look at the line on the left and determine which of the three lines on the right is equal to it in length. All right, we'll proceed in this order. You'll give your answer.
Only one of the people in the group is a real subject, the fifth person with the white T-shirt. The others are Confederates of the experimenter and have been told to give wrong answers on some of the trials. The experiment begins uneventfully as subjects give their judgments.
Two. 3.
But on the third trial, something happens.
2. 2.
The subject denies the evidence of his own eyes and yields to group influence.
1.
Asch found subjects went along with the group on 37% of the critical trials. But he found through interviews that they went along with the group for different reasons.
1.
They must be right. There are 4 of them and 1 of me.
1.
This subject's yielding is based on a distortion of his judgment. He genuinely believes that the group is correct.
1. 2. 1. 2. 2.
I know they're wrong, but why should I make waves?
2.
In this case, the subject knows he is right, but goes along to avoid the discomfort of disagreeing with the group. Here, the distortion is at the level of his response.
2. 2.
In the previous experiment, the naive subject stood alone against the group. In this variation, Asch gave the naive subject a partner, here seated in the third position, who also gives the correct response.
1.
2.
2.
With a partner, yielding drops to only 5% of the critical trials compared to 37% without a partner. Although subjects report warmth and good feeling toward the partner, they typically deny that he played a role in their own independence. The partnership variation shows that much of the power of the group came not merely from its numbers, but from the unanimity of its opposition. When that unanimity is punctured, the group's power is greatly reduced, Sometimes we go along with a group because what they say convinces us they are right. This is called informational conformity. But sometimes we conform because we are apprehensive that the group will disapprove if we are deviant. This is called normative conformity. The strength of the normative factor is shown in another variation carried out by Asch. In this variation, the subject is told that because he had arrived late, he would have to write his answers. Subjects in this private response experiment are exposed to the same amount of misleading information as other subjects, but they are immune from any possible criticism by the group.
One.
And this enormously reduces the pressure to conform. Conformity drops by 2/3. Asch's experiment is a classic. It reveals how people will deny what they see and submit to group pressure. It allows us not only to observe conformity, but to study the conditions that increase or reduce its occurrence.
We can also draw out other key lessons out from this experiment. The first one is the social influence. So social influence happens when people are being swayed by the actions and opinions of others, even when they know that their opinions and actions are incorrect. So we still tend to do that because that's the peer pressure. That's the social pressure that we feel, because majority of the people, or unanimously, the decision is being made, and even though you don't agree with that, and you are in the you are surrounded by the group, so you tend to agree of their decision, of their actions. So that's social pressure. Another thing is that we can picture out in the experiment the thing that we call conformity. So conformity happens when when people adjust their behaviors or beliefs to match to the majority, even if it contradicts to their own perceptions or beliefs. So, like for example, if you are working in a company and you don't like the mission, vision, and goal of the company, including the culture of the people working in that institution. So, in order for you to get what you want, which is actually just the salary, you try to tweak yourself a little bit in order to conform, in order to fit into the culture of that institution that you work for, even though you're not 100% loyal, but you have other agendas that you want to get out from that company, so you try to fit in the meantime. Or it's up to you if you want to spend the rest of your life in that company, but in order to do that, you have to conform with the rest of the people working in that company. You have to be like them in some point. We also have this so-called group dynamics. The presence of unanimous majority can create a strong pressure to conform, leading individuals to abandon their own judgment. So because the group says yes, even though we know that that's wrong, we just say yes for world peace, because that's what the group is saying. And when you say the right answer, they're gonna look at you like that. So you just say yes instead. You follow the unanimous decision of the group, even though you're against it. And lastly, we can also picture out the independence over, or should I say, conformity over independence. So in the experiment, it's being shown that while independence is valued by many cultures, the desire for social acceptance often leads individuals to prioritize conformity over independent judgment. So I hope me and you can learn something out from the content today, the episode today. And at least we know now how conformity makes or breaks us. And if you ever like this video, just click subscribe as well as the notification button. You can even share it to your family and friends. You can follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. So this is Anna once again of Reinforce Me Club. Have a lovely day ahead.